If you have touched a PlayStation controller at any point in your life, you know about Naughty Dog. From all the way at PlayStation 1 with the funny Bandicoot. Wait, it's a Bandicoot? So it was in his name all along? I swear to God, at some point we had a debate whether this guy was a dog or a fox. To the rock climbing Tom Holland, Naughty Dog has been walking with the gamers. But look, everyone likes Crash Bandicoot or Uncharted, but they love The Last of Us. The game about the girl that has the most fanboys in the modern history of mankind. I swear to God, this obsession with Ellie has led them to the painful character meme. Putting the stands aside, The Last of Us was genuinely a decent game, so it wasn't shocking that HBO picked it up and said, hey, you played it, now watch it. Or maybe you watched someone else play it, now watch it again. Now, let's go back a little here. No, a little bit more. Why did The Last of Us become so popular? I mean, it was released on PlayStation 3, got a remaster for PlayStation 4, eventually a sequel, and now there's a remake and official news of a TV show. So obviously Naughty Dog did its homework pretty good. Remember, this is a TV show we are talking about here, so we need to entirely remove the element of interactivity. Then what you're left with is the plot, and the plot of The Last of Us is one of the best I've ever seen.
I gotta tell you, it was perfect. Perfect. Everything, down to the last minute details.
Well, it was before the The journey was about a man named Joel Miller who loses his daughter at the beginning of an apocalypse which infected people into these disgusting creatures named clickers. Now, Joel was eventually tasked to transport a girl named Ellie Williams across the country to a Firefly lab. Apparently, Ellie was immune to the virus, so everyone believed that she could save the world. And you know what? She really could. But the procedure would have killed her, so Joel decided to doom the entire fucking world to hell instead of letting Ellie die. He killed the doctors that could make a cure, then pretty much ran away and lied to Ellie. Why? Because Ellie grew on him. Do I have a problem with this plot?
No.
You see, the beauty of Druckmann's writing shows itself as these characters. They're all grey. Joel is not a good person. Actually, he's selfish as shit. Do we hate him? No. Dude lost his daughter, then found a daughter figure and was about to lose her again. Come on, walk with my man a little bit here. Ellie takes any chance to act rebellious. Do you hate her? Of course you don't. This girl has always been looked at as some sort of product. No one actually gave a shit about Ellie, everyone was interested in her immunity. So of course, she doesn't behave well. And this is fucking beautiful.
Nice.
Neither of these two are good people, but you can't dislike them. Then... Oh, then we have the second game. I know the community of The Last of Us can be really, sensitive, so whatever I'm going to say is just my opinion. You can listen to it and then comment how much you want me to kill myself. 7 years after the original game, The Last of Us 2 was released, and the story was abysmal. You know, near the end of the previous game, players' perspective was constantly switching between Ellie and Joel. So you know, it made the players think that this is what the second game will be. A journey that has them switching between Ellie and Joel constantly. Well, the switching did happen, but not with Joel. You know why? Cause Joel straightforward dies at the beginning of the game by Abby. And in case you're wondering, it's because this random NPC that was of literally no importance was Abby's father, Jerry, which Joel killed. So the game has you switch between Ellie that wants to kill Abby, and Abby who eventually decides to kill Ellie too. So in a weird way, as a player, you're progressing against yourself. Ellie does eventually get the upper hand and gets the chance to kill Abby, but she doesn't! This ending was so meaningless that I shit you not, I had to legit redo the entire game until I came to the realization of what's actually going on. You see, The Last of Us 2 puts you in Abby's shoes in order for you to sympathize with the character and say, hey, she ain't that bad. This is hilarious because the game sets you up to hate Abby from the very beginning. This kills Joel 10 minutes after he saved her life and makes sure to do it in a way that Joel suffers. You can say that, well, Joel killed her dad, so she was pretty bad. But I'm looking at the perspective of both sides, and Joel wouldn't have killed Jerry if he didn't stand in the way of this abomination of a man. Like, did you really think you can kill him? Now, not only did the game fail to make the player feel anything for Abby, it also made them believe that Ellie is stupid as shit. She went through hell, lost everything she had, and killed so many people to get to Abby. Oh my god, she killed so many people. Only to realize, oh, she wants the cycle of violence to end, and the true enemy is her past, which is haunting her, which she needs to move on. What? Dude, you lost everything you had. Your father figure, your uncle figure, your lover, your supposed child, your best friend, your home, your fucking fingers. And you lost them for nothing?
How? How did they think that was okay to even put it in the game? I'm so sick of this company.
You know what's funny? The game wants the player to actually feel happy that Abby is alive, since they have been in her shoes. It makes no sense from a storytelling perspective. Ellie didn't know what Abby went through. To her, she was someone who murdered her father figure. Nothing else. It makes no sense why Ellie would want to spare a murderer who she lost everything to kill. What, did Ellie sit behind the desk and read the script of the game or something? To make it simple, the game killed Joel just to give Ellie something to do. Now look, you will not have a bad time playing the game. The Last of Us 2 has decent graphics, AI, and gameplay, but the story just fucking sucks. And this gets me worried because first we had a game that left a dirt on The Last of Us, now we're getting a show that is going to cover the same game as well. But this time, the only focus is on the plot. To be fair, the story of the game was written by Neil Druckmann himself, but now he's joined with Craig Mazin, who wrote Chernobyl, so I'm sure it'll be better than the game. I hope. The Last of Us is now officially a franchise, so if the show turns out to be trash, it's going to leave its mark on the entire franchise, which already has one rotten apple. To be honest, I'm actually worried about the show. Because factually speaking, when a game turns into a movie, it usually comes out trash. And if you're wondering why I say that, well, and Sony is entering Naughty Dog into the movie industry pretty heavily, bidding two of its most important franchises. Now, in order for us to figure out whether the show will be decent or not, we need to first figure out why it's even being made. Is it for the money, or is there genuine care going into the project? Because let's get real, The Last of Us have made Sony pretty rich. And when something works, people keep milking it. Sometimes they get a little creative, sometimes they don't. And though The Last of Us will be safe in the hands of HBO, Sony is also included in the production, which have brought us gems like Morbius before.
It's Morbin time.
The show is meant to cover both chapters of the game. Apparently, it won't be a scene-to-scene recreation in live action. It will actually have changes implemented into the story. This is actually pretty good. As someone who played the games, if we sit in front of the TV to simply watch the same game only in live action, it'll be pretty lame. It's pretty cool to see everything with realism, but we still know exactly everything that's going to happen, so pretty much the entire show is spoiled for us. Even if the changes are minor, it'll still be something new that can get viewers to stay hooked. You know Johannes Roberts, the director of the Resident Evil Welcome to Raccoon City? Yeah, I'm not gonna praise that movie, but he did make a good point. If you're going to replicate exactly what happens in the games, then you may as well just play the games. Of course, you shouldn't go too far to, you know. I think the most controversial part of the show is the actors. People like the entire cast, except for the dynamic duo. Pedro Pascal as Joel and Bella Ramsey as Ellie didn't sit well with the community, because obviously these two look nothing like the characters they represent. Pedro doesn't have the physique or the aggressive nature of Joel, and Bella... Do I really have to explain why she doesn't look like Ellie? People have made suggestions for who should play the duo, one of the most obvious ones being Hugh Jackman as Joel, I swear to God, everyone's so mad that he isn't casted. And to be fair, he was a perfect choice. He looked like Joel, sounded close to him, and had the aggressive nature of him as well. I did a bit of research and there's nothing on the internet about Hugh Jackman as Joel except fans wanting it, so I guess he was never even considered. As for Ellie, same shit goes. People dislike Bella Ramsey as Ellie only because she doesn't look like her in-game character. So they made their own suggestion, like Caitlin Dever. I gotta say, I think she's probably the most identical to Ellie out of the decent actresses out there. There's also Storm Reed. Wait, what? Wasn't the whole point of this argument that the actors don't look alike? What the hell? Guys. I would love it if they were look-alike. But this isn't a fucking cosplay con. It's a movie set. A director's priority is performance, not resemblance, and so far the production team made good choices. One of them being Gustavo Santaolalla for the soundtracks. If you guys didn't know, this guy was behind the soundtracks of the games as well. Pedro Pascal and Bella Ramsey are great actors and they have proven this before. They have been praised by the original mocap actors of Ellie and Joel, Troy Baker and Ashley Johnson. There was this neat parallel between the originals and the actors at the Game Awards. It was pretty cool. You know, something that's hilarious is that Druckmann insisted on Troy and Ashley being in the show. So they are in the upcoming series, they're just not playing Joel and Ellie. It's not surprising, just because someone portrays a character good in mocap doesn't mean that they do the same in live action, but they still have rules in the live action, so I'm kinda lost here. Pedro and Bella have shown passion for the project. They said that they had a fun time on the set. Bella even said that she watched some gameplay on the set. This is really good, cause if the actors feel comfortable and not under pressure, they can give it 100%. So those of you who absolutely despise the duo, at least give them the benefit of the doubt. What I can assure you is that the show won't be total garbage. We have the original writer joined by the writer of Chernobyl, the musician that literally made the music for games. The practical and CGI from what we can see in the trailers is decent, casted great actors, though they have been treated pretty harshly. HBO is facing a fan base that is like the nest of stands. You really don't want to miss this one at HBO. But then we also have Sony and Morbius, yeah. Still, the odds are in favor of something great coming out of this entire project. But as always, we have to sit back and observe.